Here's what I believe about sovereignty. I believe that we are very unique individuals as human beings, and that there are many people that would fit many of our aspects and patterns. I believe we come into contact with people throughout our life who spur us onto an evolution of deep pain that causes us to grow. And then there are others that were just meant to bless our life with a brief but just lovely experience. And I believe that people taking partners for wrong reasons, or sadly not knowing oneself deeply enough and taking partners for wrong reasons in that respect as well, this just causes a lot of people to be with wrong people that aren't really serving and soothing them. Marriage, I'll just speak from my own experience. It binds you in a way that isn't a sovereign choice. And then there are times of pain that one shouldn't have to experience. So with that in mind, I'm a single mom. I have this idea, and I'll just talk about some brief parts of it just so that I can be very clear about what I'm trying to do here. I'm a single mom. I bought 48 acres of property in Arizona. I plan to put a tiny home for myself on the property, as well as two mobile tiny homes, one for my 10-year-old and one for my 12-year-old, all connected by a really rad outdoor kitchen. Also, we will have on our property a recording studio, a barn that houses our tents, sort of like a bat cave. So our big, gigantic glamping tents that we have will hang to dry there, should there be a monsoon or anything of that sort. A recording studio, a sound stage that the barn turns and then rotates indoor or outdoor for concerts, from a ukulele and a 5-year-old to hopefully someday bands I really love. I won't mention. But certainly the experience of the desert, sky, literally off-grid, nothing out there except for when we choose to light it up. The property is amazing. It's in the migration path for the pregnant bats that pollinate flowers. I mean, there's things I love that are weird, but for me, it's awesome. So here's the thing. We go out there, we do our thing, and that's amazing. And it could just be that forever, and I'd love it. I plan on basically me, the bats, and the kids. I plan on just like going out there and DJ some rad sets so we can dance out there under this epic starry sky. A conscious dance, which is such an unbelievably amazing meditative experience. And as a family, when we put our devices down and we just get to know the world, it's just incredible. And so with that in mind, my life's dream and my main purpose as a person is to provide this space that I call reciproCity, because it's like reciprocity. It's based on contributionism. Basically, you contribute to your environment. What I believe sovereignty to be, I guess I should begin where I begin. Contributionism means you contribute to your environment what you want to get out of your environment. And so, like, I'm always contributing the highest good for the most DNA, because that makes my life rad. And I'm so free and so clear, and I don't really make wrong choices that often. I don't know, I just love my life. And I believe that sovereignty is you cultivate yourself to be the highest version of yourself, so that the person that you seek to hang out with in any aspect you're choosing to be wants to hang out with you. And if that hanging out with thing runs out, you respectfully and harmoniously know when to let go as well. You don't hold on to a person past the expiration point, I guess. you go away, you cultivate yourself to become better and get them again or find something new. But if you're hanging on to another person that you love deeply and unconditionally, and you're not satisfied with what's going on with the experience, and you don't just let go and let them go find more experience or better experience or a different one or anything, then you're harming them and you're harming yourself simultaneously. So what I believe sovereignty to be is, what I tell the kids is, it's know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And if I'm cultivating myself to be the highest for another person, then I'm not going to ever be the highest for them, because no one's ever going to serve every single aspect. You got to I love hanging out with that person because we talk about archery. I love hanging out with that person because we do conscious dance. I love hanging out with that person because I get a Big Mac and no one's looking. I mean, just whatever. I don't do that Big Mac thing. I'm just doing some society stuff because I don't really connect there anymore. I have no idea. I barely know the president's name. I don't do social media. I do not watch television. I am living this harmonious flow thing that I can't even explain how much I love it. Here's the thing. I also have some major challenges. I'm a single mom. I have a motorhome. I've been traveling with my kids. It's become very exhausting. I got to go on the property, but I have this really rad truck. You won't even believe how that happened. Well, you won't even believe half of anything I say, and I don't actually care if you do, but that's what's funny. But life is fun and funny. I feel like my eye's doing some kind of lazy, weird thing this morning. Doing this video thing is very hard. But a lot of people lately, I guess, are just really inspiring me to just say what's true and get over this. I know it's all ego related anyway, you know. That's the truth of it. I recorded years of my life because I was called to. And what's recorded there, I knew stuff. I know a lot ahead of time. I was calling myself a medium or all these things. I have all the clairs. Anyhow, I have a hell of a lot to offer. I live conscientiously. Highest good for the most DNA means that in every now moment that I'm experiencing, if it means a belly laugh is required to rise my spirit, yes, because my story is what I'm writing and my energy writes it. And what I want to experience with any other person has to be only exactly balanced, harmonious. And it has to be that way. And that's the other thing about reciprocity. So the domicile thing is very important. Let me get back to that. So my kids, 10 and 12, yes, have their own domicile. The reason for this is because sovereignty respects your human soul. The domicile in which your human soul resides is the Merkaba, which is deeply connected and propelled by your chakra system. So basically, you're in a state of sovereignty with that. And then you have your domicile, which is the home in which you reside. So your physical form, your being, your human being lives somewhere, a cardboard box, a motorhome, a castle. It doesn't really matter. It matters to you. And if you feel and believe that what you have around you is enough and you're hating it, you're perpetuating a place of stuck. And I know from my own experience, I know how to get unstuck. And I'm unstuck and ready. But I literally have a truck and a motor. Okay, I'm not going back to that. Yikes. See, I have squirrel brain sometimes, so that's hard to follow. And one of the reasons I didn't really want to do videos. But here's the truth. I just have to get this part out. So a domicile being an extension of a human being. My children will be raised knowing how to treat it, respect it, how to utilize it as an income system if they wish to, if they want to live in a glamping tent during the summer and then do our business that I call getting intense, which is how intense do you want to get? Do you want to go backpacking with a tent with us and we can show you how to do all that and navigate and all that and camp like pro? Or do you want a glamping tent where literally it's better than some people's houses, but in like a really rad tent, and you could see all this beautiful nature at the same time. It's like freaking rad. Anyhow, and I'll go out into that. Anyhow, they know how to treat it. They know how to utilize it as a source. They do know how to not allow another human being in there, including me, if I'm invading. Like, I'm their parent, but they have a right to their own free space where they can feel 100% entirely safe, where I can't be yelling at them. Even if they're that fragile in their psyche and they need a minute to just go away from me, they have that right. And I should have that right to do the same and have them feel safe and have a knowing space that they can be safe in. And I feel like I was given a really challenging situation, and I feel like I turned a lot of it around. And I feel like I gave these kids a space after a tragic. I'm not raising children. I'm raising human beings. It's important to me how they end up becoming, so that every relationship that they touch in such a beautiful and profound way. And they know when to release it when it is no longer serving them or soothing them in a harmonious way with the other person, sort of a symbiosis, a reciprocity. Anyhow, with that extension of them being their home, then also when they're wanting to leave, the thing about reciprocity is honor and respect and be open to redirect. And so in a moment, I never get it. This is the longest without interruption, so it's pretty cool that it took that long because it's first thing in the morning. Anyhow, honor and respect and be open to redirect, which means you may come to this property, have your own domicile, respect your domicile. Do not let anyone, not a spouse, not a child, not anyone in there when you need that space for yourself to be safe, to heal, to whatever you need, to scream, make it a soundproof. I say bring your own domicile, but we have like glamping tents that you could use if you're needing the space and you don't have anything. We have stuff for you that we can bring there. And then we will also have other things, and you can bring a motorhome. I plan on installing a 50 amp electric, at least 4 or 5 of those on the property, but I don't know how to do it with the solar yet, and I have all the solar stuff to hook up. I have lots of stuff to do, but I have it, and I'm excited about what this can do. And literally just the sky in a tent is rad. I just don't know the weather or how it works out there. So like, I'm going on an adventure with my kids, and you're, welcome to bring something to that land, but honor and respect and open to redirect. That's the whole thing. I get to choose who comes, and I get to say, hey, you can do it on the other half of the 50 acre, or like you need to be like way farther away, which is like entirely off of this property, but I don't think anyone can come there that isn't in a space of respect and reciprocity and unconditional love. I literally am not even willing to go there yet because my 12-year-old son is 12 and he is so disrespectful. And like literally, I feel like being harmonious with our domicile also then extends to the land, like how to harmonize with the land you're on and have such a deep love and respect for that, just like you would for your family. Like your family, my family's scattered all over the world, and I love my family very deeply, but my family isn't just my blood. I have a really huge blood family, and with thousands of years of marriage and all kinds of love all over the world. But I also have a family of people that I have developed really profound relationships with, and they're experience-based. And when I'm with them having that experience, also love the one you're with. It's not about like a romantic thing. It's about in a sovereign way. Like, here's the thing. I love to go to a car show, right? I keep seeing myself. I love to go to a car show. You know why? Because guys and women that do that, and women are rare there, but they're like the best ones. But anyhow, the ones that do this thing where they take this vehicle and they love it so much, and then they're like, oh man, and I replaced even that sticker from 1978, and like, just like they created this beautiful thing. They're so proud of it. The energy of that experience is rad. So it's like, I like to meet you where you're at. And if where you're at is your great your greatest accomplishments and your biggest experience, I want to hear about it. I want you to share with me because I think it's rad. I don't even have to think what it is rad. Like, I don't have to love your car. I just have to love that you love it. And that feels good. It's transmutation. It's hard to explain. But anyhow, okay, so I feel like that's enough for me. I feel like that's the basic of the basic, and here's what's true. And I'm just going to post it and not review it, and I'm just going to post it. Okay, here I go. If you like what I say, namaste a while and we'll chat. Okay, or we'll just chat. I'll like tell you how to contact me. I don't know. This is the only social media I do, and I don't feel that vulnerable in my email. So there you go.